Folks, I have some important news for you as far as this channel is concerned. The news is we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. So keep up the great work, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. And it's funny how my YouTube channel started. I had worked for many years for a local computer and electronics retailer in the area. They have a number of stores nationwide. I won't tell you the name of the place because that's none of your business, but it is very synonymous with tiny middle. So if you can figure out what that might mean, you can figure out where I used to work. Anyways, I worked there for many years, and you've been watching the Throwback Thursday videos, and on Sunday the boss wasn't in, so I used to bring in the files that I recorded, and we'd take a break for 15 minutes or so, and we'd watch and see what the hell went on at Jay's Bar in that. And that was our form of entertainment, as ludicrous as that was. Better than working, right? Well, anyway, another important factor here is, this is actually going to be a long story, so I just want to sum this up quickly. If you want to stop watching right after that, you can. But as I'm a very good raconteur, I suggest that you keep watching. Videos will continue daily. Everything is going on just as it always was. Tons more content. I'm not coming close to even remotely running out of content, so I'm going to be around for a long time to come. And that's a good thing, too. See, the gruesome story starts like this. I worked for this company. I started out in sales, and things were going quite well. It was a very professional company, and over the years, things started to slip through the cracks as far as the company was concerned. They're still in business. They're still ripping people off every single day, but we had changes of managers, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And then one day, they said to me, "Do you want to transfer over to the repair department?" So I worked as, yes, worked as a computer technician, which I've pretty much been doing on the side forever. You know, fixing computers. I did over 10,000 computers I fixed there. Most people won't even see 10,000 in their lifetime. I fixed 10,000 hands-on. So that is quite an accomplishment. But management. When I started out in the shop, the manager that was there was mad cool as hell. This guy was great. He said to me the first week in there, he says, "I need to put together a schedule for you." So I said, "What's wrong with the schedule I currently have?" And he looked at it and he says, "Yeah, we can make that work. No problem." So my hours never changed. Everything was great. The guy was just mad cool about everything. If you needed help with something, he was right there for you to help you. And within a month or two, he stepped down. And we got this curmudgeonly old man. This guy's been around in the field for too long. And he's got a temper. And he gets pissed at nothing. And the worst part is he fucking micromanages every last detail about the work order and everything in there and what you did and how you wrote the notes. And he always was looking over your shoulder. "What are you working on? What are you working on? What are you doing? Hey, I need off this Sunday." "Sorry, nope, can't have off." "Why? Everybody else is going to be in." "You can't have off. We have too much work to do." "Well, my uncle's going to die that day." "Well, too bad." You know, whatever it was, there was no leeway whatsoever. And the stress would build and build and build and build. And it built up for a very long time. Eventually, I was getting so fed up with the place that I couldn't take it anymore. And it finally came to a head around the time that I got the Big Six. I just had like a mental fucking breakdown. And I couldn't stand it anymore. And I pretty much, you know, I was done with the place actually for a year coming. And the reason that actually happened, I'll tell a quick side story, was because I got a call. This was about a year before I left there. I got a call. It happened to be Halloween weekend. I don't remember the year. I guess it was 2014 or so. And I got a call on a day where it's my regular day off, and the boss says, I need you to come in. I said, that's not happening. First of all, I happened to be drunk at the time when he called, but that was neither here nor there. I said, why do you need me in? Are there so many machines to fix? No, actually, the general manager needs to see you. So now I'm racking my brain all weekend trying to figure out what this is. And meanwhile, I told him, you know, F off. I'm not coming in. I'll be in on Sunday when my regular day back is. So he says, okay. Well, when I came back, it turns out that on Friday, they issued a random drug test with everybody. Well, that's not a problem if you would have just fucking told me, but then it's not a surprise or a secret, you know? But he never told me, and it just, like, built up inside of me, and I got, like, all pissed off about it. And at that point, I had pretty much given up on the place because, you know, all he had to say was, you're not in trouble, you're not getting fired, something like that, you know, and maybe I would have actually come in. I came in on Sunday, I took the drug test. I don't do drugs, so I had nothing to worry about. I passed just fine, and that was that. But the double crossing of that was, it bothered me. And I know this goes on at other employers, but just the way they handled it was certainly not correct and certainly not professional. So that sort of planted the seed, and over the year it followed. Things got more and more stressful in there. The micromanagement was out of control. Customers calling. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I found myself in a mania in life. The detergent day videos that I made, all that detergent, I would just go and buy stuff, buy stuff, buy stuff, buy stuff. I was spending so much money. With the amount of money that we take in every year, I was just spending, and it didn't matter. I wasn't going into any kind of debt or not paying bills or anything like that. Plenty of money in the bank, nothing to worry about. But as far as, you know, my goal is to not spend money every day. Some days you have to. It's simple as that. So that was kind of the deal. And meanwhile, my back pain, as many of you who have been following me for years know about, had gotten worse and worse and worse. And finally, my manager in the shop called a meeting on the following Sunday. And it was then that I made my decision that I was going to resign. So I went in on Sunday, and we had a form at that company that I filled out. And filled out, you know, for my resignation effective pretty much immediately. I wasn't even concerned about giving 2 weeks notice. They say if you don't give 2 weeks notice, you can never be rehired. I'm fucking done with the place. I don't care. I don't care. I was done. So I went to the meeting. I sat through it, and he says, okay, everybody hand in your stuff that we had to fill out. You know, sign a sheet. We abide by these new bullshit rules, etc., etc. So I said, here's your sheet, and here's my resignation. See ya. He says, that's it? I said, yep. I'll see ya. And I start walking, and just about when I got to the door, he says, you want to sit down? Well, all the stops were pulled out. I was offered more money. I was offered a better schedule. I was offered this. I was offered this. I was offered this. I'll try to be better. I'll try to help you. I won't be so much of an asshole. Maybe you want to think about it for a little bit. I said, well, you know what? It's been recommended to me that I actually take a leave of absence to see if I could do anything about my back. And this was somewhere in, I think, about October of 2015, maybe November, something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was November of 2015, if I remember the year correctly. Anyways, you know, I never dispelled any of this stuff, but now is the right time. Basically, I took a leave of absence, and I was out for 10 weeks, you get 12, at least in New York State. I don't know if it's different in other states, but here we get 12 weeks. I had to burn all of my vacation days and stuff like that, so I took 10 weeks off. And I was home, just doing YouTube and sitting at home, otherwise not working. Now, wasn't worried about it at the time, you know. I had to watch because now my salary wasn't coming in, so now I'm going over all the numbers and stuff like that, and I'm trying to figure out where we can cut and where we can save and where we can cut and where we can save, and I got quite good at it. Anyways, it came time that I had to head back to work, and I was dreading it, and it was at that point we had a huge snowstorm the day before, and I had to go out and clear that and worry about going back to work the next day, and it was awful. Well, anyway, we got through the snow, and I went to work the next day. And when I came in, somebody had taken my place. Now, that's okay, because I can't be fired or moved or demoted or anything like that, because I did everything that was granted to me by the FMLA. So they don't have a leg to stand on if they want to actually do something to me. So they knew that they couldn't get away with anything. So I said, well, I got to work at my old bench. He says, we'll move this guy. That's not a problem. You know, we'll get everything worked out by the end of the week. And next week when you come in, that'll be, you know, everything will be back to normal. There's also talks about my going to deal with customers up front when they bring their machines in. And basically that idea was just poo-pooed. Because they basically said, they realized, gee, this guy's smart. He knows what's going on. He can probably just fix it for them, click, click, and it's done. They're out, and we don't get any money. They were money-hungry bastards. This fucking company, if the power went out, and this happened, I'd say a good 3 or 4 times over the period that I worked there, they kept the store open. They gave the associates flashlights, and they would go and show people products with flashlights. Oh, yeah, look at this router. See this? Here, let me shine the light on it so you could see. And they would sell shit in the dark. The POS systems, we didn't have a generator of any kind. Actually, the building did. The generator didn't work. But those were on battery backup, which ran for, 20 minutes or so just to get the server and the terminal shut down. And that was pretty much it. And they would write paper fucking tickets. And there they were. There's LaQuisha sitting there with a 4-function calculator and can't calculate tax and can't calculate anything else. And they would just lose money every time. There would always be discrepancies, but they were so money hard. Let me get that other $80 sale in. You know, even if I lose $15, I still made, you know, let me get that sale in. Let me get that sale in. If the fucking fire marshal came down, they would shut the fucking place down. This company went from, like, the most awesome place to the lowest of the fucking low in the period that I worked there. It was utterly amazing to see the level of professionalism fucking tank. Absolutely tank. Well, anyway, I went back to work for the week. And I went back on a Monday. And after I got out of there, I got in the car. Because at work, you're running around, you're doing stuff, you know. I got in the car, I'm driving home, and I said, holy shit. My back is killing me worse than I've ever fucking felt now. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I just burned 10 weeks. I can't do that again. You know, it's over. What do I do at this point? I decided to stick it out for a little bit and see what I could do. So I went to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, Matt was still around. So Matt came over and we went out to dinner. And we went and we ate, and we came back and we started having a couple of drinks and that, and the food just, it didn't feel like it was sitting right, you know, it just felt like it was just there and heavy, and I had never had that feeling really. It was a strange feeling. Well, the next day I woke up and I was in excruciating pain, and I ended up going to the hospital to have my gallbladder taken out. That's what the problem was. My liver enzymes were out of control. Everybody thought it was due to the drinking, but it wasn't. It was because of the gallbladder that was failing. And that's what fucked it all up. So pretty much I went there to the hospital and I went for the operation. Now, in the shop there, they would micromanage like I explained, and they would go on about shit where clean your bench. So we're talking like little dust bunnies that you can't even see. He does like a fucking white glove test on the fucking bench. In the back, where everything gets pushed to, you know. I didn't keep my bench messy at all. I kept everything neat, tidy, in order. My tools were put away in my toolbox and locked up every day when I left. Everything was always in order when I left that place. And I would come in after having the, you know, my regular 2 days off, and other people who worked there would just throw shit on my bench. It was always a fucking mess every Sunday when I came in. And I would take pictures and send it to my boss and say, I didn't leave my bench like this. So you gotta have to have a talk with everybody else. Well, of course, he never did. He never did. And oftentimes you could tell whose orders they were and who put the stuff there or who would have put that item there. You know, so I had to spend a half hour every fucking Sunday morning cleaning my bench up, and then I would still get yelled at. Clean your bench. Then we had shelves. I had shelves up top. I didn't really keep anything up there, but occasionally I just toss something up there just for the day and take it down. But those shelves grow dust. Not dust that you can see, but again, the fucking white glove came out and clean your bench, you know, and then we had the general manager come in. This place has to be super clean. When I bring my car to a mechanic, and this guy was like 6'7", he was a fucking tall guy, and he drove a little fucking Hyundai Elantra clown car. I couldn't figure that out, and it was like 9, 10 years old, and the paint is peeling off of the fucking thing. You know, he said, oh no, it runs great and this and that, but you know, when I bring it in, I need brakes, I need this or that, whatever. My mechanic's shop is always neat as a pin. There's no dust, dirt, grime, oil, anything. Everything's absolutely pristine. This place has to be like that. I said, what fucking garage? What mechanic's garage is clean? There's always oil, dust, dirt, dirty car parts, old tires, everything fucking laying around. You don't see anything absolutely fucking pristine. It's impossible. It's the nature of the business. It just gets that way. Yeah, you can clean it up every now and again. And when he said clean your bench, I'd get up on the fucking bench and I'd get the Windex or whatever we had, and I'd get paper towels and I'd wipe everything down. There, are you happy now? Are you happy now? Are you happy now? You know, and it just went on. It was like, what the fuck? So here I am in the hospital operating room on the operating table. And I've told this story before. I'm looking up at the lights. There's this big, it looks like a fucking spaceship. And there's like 7 or maybe even 9 50-watt little halogen reflector bulbs mounted in that. And the thing is painted white. And that's sitting up there, and they're getting me hooked up. The blood pressure, this, that, and the third, taking my temperature every 2 minutes. This, that, you know, then one guy comes to talk to me, you know, you're getting your gallbladder out. Yeah, oh, how long does it take? Oh, usually about 45. You know, we made small talk and that. And on the far wall, there's signs up, you know, holiday party, December something, or employees must now, or make sure to turn the sink off when you leave, wash your hands, whatever the signs are, they just went up on the wall. Over there, they would just put Scotch tape on a regular sheet of paper and slap it on a wall. Well, over the years, the tape builds up, and there was a line like this fucking thick of old pieces of tape and shit, and that's on the wall, and my bench has to be pristine. They're opening me the fuck up and working on me. And I look up at the spaceship, and the white paint is chipping off of the thing. I said, they could have me cut open and a paint chip can fucking fall on me. This is acceptable? And at that point, I realized that my days at that place, that was done. It was over. And it was good, too, because at that point, I had no more vacation days. I had to burn them all. I had 2 weeks left, and the doctor said, okay, you can go back to work in 2 weeks. See me in a week and a half. And I went in, and I had him write the paper that I could come back on Monday, which was 1 day over the 12 weeks. And that was my ticket out. So I didn't have to give any notice or do anything, and I actually am eligible for rehire. It's never happening. So that's that. Now, it was also important that I left there for my well-being. A few things are important here. I just saw my friend Matt. He's in town now for the 4th of July, whenever this video is going up, probably sooner than later. And I found out some news about a former coworker. You see, in my department where I was, there were 2 guys that would work at the front counter. And one of them went into the hospital. And then another one went into the hospital. And then I went into the hospital. And then I found out about this other coworker who went into the hospital and he didn't make it out. He passed away. So, Tiny Middle killed 4 employees. Killed them. Indirectly, they don't realize they're a piece of shit. They don't realize how bad the place has become, and they're not doing anything to correct any of it. That's fine. I left them to drown in their own piss, and drown they did. They're still in business. They're still there. But in that shop, when I was there, somebody would bring the machine in. It had to be looked at within 24 hours. I had some inside sources, and I found out that after I left, they were looking at 7 to 11 days just before they could even look at somebody's computer. And a lot of people left and said, fuck this, I'll go to Best Bitch or Geek Squad or Staples or wherever it was. They just left, and they went elsewhere. Some dropped it off. They said, well, this is the place, so I don't know. Okay, fine. They can rot. I don't give a shit. So here we are now and today. So what have I been doing? Well, remember how I said a while back about how I used to bring in those videos that we do at the bar, the throwbacks, which weren't throwbacks at the time, and we'd watch them there? Every now and again, one of the guys that would change price stickers on stuff in the store, he would wander past. And he was an Indian guy. And he said to me, you should put this on YouTube. And I'm like, the thought crossed my mind, but nah, I don't think so. And I wasn't recording any videos like I do now. So I said, I don't know. And over time, I finally said, you know what, let me just put up a video or 2 videos. And then I decided, you know, we had the crew over, and I said, you know what, I'm cooking, then we're going to go down to the bar and drink and shit. Maybe we'll sort of introduce everybody, and I'll sort of start the channel off like that. And that's what I did. And in the beginning, I was not posting regularly. See, what would happen is I would record for maybe a month, you know, a couple of videos a week, maybe 2, more often than not, just 1. And then I decided that I would go and post every single one of those videos. So I'd be putting up 4, 8, even 12 videos at a time, all on the same day. Just bam, there they are. And then a few more weeks went by, and I got some more videos saved up, and I said, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Because if I put up 12 videos, like you saw this one, and you saw how long this video is, and you said, oh, fuck, I don't have time for Jay. I don't have time for this. I'll watch it another time. Then it goes into your watch never list if you actually use that, you know. It's you know, so you pick and choose what videos you're going to watch, and that's fine. That's the nature of YouTube. So I said, well, maybe if I just put up little short videos every day, I'll just put up 1 video, and that way people see it and they say, oh, 6 minutes. I got 6 minutes. Let's see what Jay's doing. And they'd watch the video. And the next day I'd put up another one. Maybe that was 8 minutes. Maybe there was a 10-minute. Maybe only a 2-minute video. all depends on what the subject of the video is. And I said to myself, you know, because after a while I started saving these things up, and over the time that I was I had like 12 videos. So I said, let me put up one a day, and in that time I would record more videos. And then those went in the queue to go get uploaded and posted in that. And I said, oh, I can't, I'll only keep this up for like a month. Well, a month turned into a month and a half. A month and a half turned into 3 months. 3 turned into 6. 6 turned into 12. The rest is history. And that's how I've been able to post videos every day, going on at least 4 years, if not even 5 now. I don't even remember anymore. Subscriber base has grown. You know, fortunately, I was well over the 1,000 subscriber thing when Susan came in and implemented all of those horrible changes that people had to die over and lose their monetization. You know, I was well over that, so I had nothing to worry about as far as that was concerned. And it was all because of that Indian guy. He sort of planted the seed in my mind that maybe I should start putting stuff on YouTube. So I did, and here we are. So what have I been doing in the last few years? I've retired. 37 years old. I'm retired. That's right. I don't have to work anymore. The finances actually worked out as such that my working there was costing us money, because between the wife's salary and my salary put us into such a high tax bracket. Pretty much my salary plus some was taken away. So we were actually losing money on the deal of my working there. Plus, like I said, I was spending on stuff. You know, so that wasn't certainly helping anything either. You know, so that's the deal. I actually ended up making money by not working. We got our finances in order. Not that, like I said, we were never in any sort of financial trouble at all whatsoever. It was a little touch and go at first while I was sort of learning the ropes as far as how we're going to do things and what we're going to do. Today alone, I just saved $12 by buying something that I needed at a store that I could find it cheaper at. The store was maybe a little bit farther to drive to, maybe 2 more miles, but I saved $12. That's $12 I didn't have to spend. I was prepared to spend $25, but I only paid $13. So I saved $12. And the other day I ended up saving $10. It was great. I mean, the ways I found to actually save money, or I shouldn't say save it, but not spend it, are amazing if you take the time to look. And I found this out the hard way, all in retrospect. Hindsight is 20/20, like they say, that I was in a mania. I was a fucking maniac when I was working there, because the stress was absolutely killing me. And I went on buying sprees, and I did this, and I did that, and I would drink fucking heavily. Of course, I kept my tolerance up, so I could still drink heavily, but it's not like it was back in the day. Every week, Matt and crew would come over, and we would just drink the fucking week away. It was gone. Well, after I left there, I said, I don't need alcohol anymore. I don't need it anymore. I really don't. I still love it. I still like to drink it because it makes the back pain go away. See, I used to take Tylenol, but then I found that Tylenol didn't always get rid of all the pain. And then I found alcohol. So that works. But anyway, what ended up happening was my drinking had diminished and diminished and diminished. Well, if you don't drink as much, you don't have to replenish the bar. You don't have to go buy beer. And I don't just drink beer. I drink, you know, hard liquor and spirits and vodka, gin, you know, it's alcohol, I drink it. Pretty much, that was it. I still do from time to time. If I have people over, hell yeah, I'm drinking, absolutely. But otherwise, during the week, I can go 2-3 weeks without having a drink. Just don't need it. Just don't need it. So I was spending $250 a month replenishing bottles at the bar with the amount we used to drink. You know, I didn't have Matt or any of the crew pay for any of the I paid for everything. Like I said, we're not in any sort of danger here, so I was just paying for everything. And we'd all have a good time. And we'd forget about the week until Monday or Sunday for me would roll around. So there's like $250 a month that I started saving by not spending it. Another thing happened. I don't have to drive to work 5 days a week anymore. In fact, I don't have to drive at all during the week. So neither the Big Six nor the Buick get many miles on them. I can go for an entire week without driving. And in fact, over the past months, I made a habit of this. My dad told me to make a habit to, every time I go fill up the car with gas, get a little notepad and write down the mileage, the date, and how much the gas was and how many gallons you got. And that way you could calculate your miles per gallon. That actually came in handy when the wife's car was having all sorts of trouble, because I had noticed that the gas mileage was not that great. And I said, hey, get the book. So we got the book because I made her do it also. And she looked in the book and we calculated it out and found that really over the years, now she's had that car for 13 years now, I believe. And the car is now 18 years old. In that time, you're not getting the mileage that the car, you know, the gas mileage that it would get brand new. Things wear out, the engine wears out, parts wear out, stuff like that. You're not putting as much power to the road and you're burning more gas. It's just fact of the matter. But we calculated it out, and I think over the 13 years, we're looking at like 1 to 2 miles per gallon difference. So I said, well, good. I'm glad it's not really affecting the gas mileage, at least, because that would end up costing a lot more money in gas. Turns out, little 4-cylinder 2000 Camry doesn't get great gas mileage. And that she does pretty much all highway driving. Go figure. Really doesn't get that great gas mileage. Never did. It just never did. Even before any of the problems that we have with it, it just didn't get that great of a gas mileage. Fact of the matter. You know, now I got the Big Six. Well, that's a 6-cylinder engine, 3.5 liter. It's not bad. I would constantly get, you know, up to even, you know, 20, maybe 22 miles to the gallon in that. But it's a bigger engine, so you are taking a cut in the miles per gallon. Forget it with the Buick, you know, 10 miles to the gallon if you're lucky. That's fine. I don't drive it for the gas mileage. I drive it to ride in style. And that's that. That's a 7-liter engine, 430 cubic inch. So I'm not concerned about that. And in the Big Six alone, not going to work, I actually went and I looked in my logbook, and I had driven sparingly because I don't have to go to work every day, on an entire tank of gas, which was 18.5 gallons is the tank, and I think I got maybe 17 gallons when I filled. That tank lasted me for 2 entire months. 2 months I went on 1 tank of gas because I don't have to drive anymore. I have a dash cam and I don't get much footage because, well, shit, I just really don't drive that much anymore. So there's a savings right there. It's been more, that was an exception, I should say. It was more like a month and that I would fill up. When I was working, it was every 2 weeks. I would fill up pretty much on the dot. So right there, my gas bill was cut in half. Well, when I fill a tank on that thing, that's like $50, $60. So that was costing between $100 to $120 a month. Now it's only $50 or $60. I cut that shit in half. That's $50 or $60 a month that I'm not spending now. So I found all these little ways to save. Look online for better deals than what I'm finding, what I'm getting. I shop at Aldi because the stuff there is great. The prices are phenomenal. We have other grocery stores that are in the area that have things for giveaway prices sometimes, which is very surprising in New York. But I learned how to cook those foods and eat them, And we knew what they were. I mean, we're talking simple stuff here. You know, everybody says, oh, let's go out for some wings. Do you know how expensive buffalo wings are? Going out for them but is one thing. But buying them in the store, you got a package, I don't know how many are in there. You're paying 12, even 15 fucking dollars for that. And you're walking out with like 2 pounds maybe? That's it. That shit is expensive. And it's all bone. There's not much meat on the wings. Well, it so turns out that chicken, you know, we've all had like a whole roast chicken or something, or just think Thanksgiving, a turkey, same kind of idea. You know, and there's people who say, oh, I only like the white meat. But I happen to like the dark meat. That's the legs and the thighs. Well, because the wings are so expensive, they have to sell the rest of the parts of the bird. Every bird only has 2 wings, so they can sell those at a premium price. The chicken breasts, the skinless, boneless kind, everybody wants that. So you pay a fucking premium for that. Just go into your grocery store and look at the price per pound on that stuff. I can get chicken legs for 49 cents a pound. They cook up the same. I do it with the buffalo sauce, the same, you know, like the Frank's hot sauce, or I have the Louisiana Supreme. And we can eat for fucking nothing. I leave the store with 14 pounds of meat, and I paid $7, and it would feed us for like 4 days. That's like $1 and change a day per person, not counting the sauce and the other stuff, but just for the chicken alone. I can eat for fucking ridiculously cheap. I'm lucky in the sense that we can get them, but you'll even find them even at your hoity-toity expensive Stop and Shop or other local upscale-y grocery stores by you. You know, you might pay $1.29, maybe $1.59 a pound, and that's getting kind of expensive. But shit, it beats. We used to buy chicken breast, the boneless, skinless kind. We used to get that shit. We're paying $5, $6 a fucking pound for that stuff. I still buy it, and fortunately I can get that pretty cheap also at the markets that we have here, so that's nice. But, you know, I found ways to cut back on the extravagant foods and that. I'll splurge. I'll get filet mignon. I'll get steak. I'll do, you know, whatever it is. You can cheat. You can have anything you want, really. But, you know, I go to the cheaper stuff when I can, because that prevents me from spending money. It's time to change the battery on the camera. I'll be right back. So when I was still working at this place, I had jokingly said at the time I had maybe 1,000 subscribers and that, and it was building. And you know, every week you get a few more, and it adds up, and adds up. And over the years, you know, I had mentioned my YouTube presence and stuff like that, and nobody in there ever subscribed to me. They might look every now and again to see what I posted, but whatever. I had jokingly said that one day I'm going to be a YouTuber. And it's happened. This really now is my full-time job. It's not a full-time job because I pick my own schedule. I work when I want. And especially when you see multi-part series, I do that for a reason. I don't want you sitting here for a half hour or an hour that you have to take out of your day because you want to watch the video. That's a lot to ask out of somebody. It really is. It's a lot to ask. And as you can hear the blangs going off in the background there, people contacting me. And I always make it a point to get to all of the comments. I'll get back to that in a second. But this now is literally my full-time job. So I'm now a full-time YouTuber. Is it enough money to live on? Not a fucking chance. Not a chance. Not even close. But I will tell you that it's a nice little chunk of change to get in every month. And the good news is it just goes right the fuck in the bank. Just banking it. Because with all the rest of our finances in order, and that, and not losing money every year in taxes, because New York you get taxed the fuck out of, okay? Not losing money, but actually earning and getting, you know, you still lose, of course, in taxes. It's just a fact of the matter. But not, you know, you're losing this much instead of this much. Big difference. So, over the years that I've been retired, I've watched the bank account, there you go, the bank account grow. Over the years, it just goes up. We have an automatic debit from the checking account where the checks go into, you know, as a direct deposit. We have an automatic debit from there monthly, twice monthly, actually. It's a trigger on the wife's paycheck, so that comes in bi-monthly, and it's set up for a trigger to take $1,000 out of each check and throw it in savings. So twice a month, $2,000 goes into savings. Now, I don't get $2,000 because then you go to the ATM. Oh, I need $100. Oh, let me go to the ATM. Oh, shit, I ran out of cash. You know, need to hit the ATM. So you hit the ATM for $500 by the time the month's out, you know. And so I don't make $2,000 like that a month, okay? You know, and we got to pay the bills in that, so the rest stays in the checking account, and we can pay the bills from there. So, you know, there's still, no matter, I found it's not a matter of how much money you make. It's how you manage your money. And fortunately, the writing was on the wall for the place that I worked for a long time. And that gave me the opportunity to look back at my life and see the mistakes that I was making and to correct that. Is everything perfect? Far from it. You're never going to have it perfect. Okay, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Like I said, it's most important not how much money you make, but how you manage it. And if you manage it wisely, you can actually make your money work for you. I don't invest it or do anything like that, really. I have some accounts, but they're not, I don't touch them. They're sitting there in the event something happens. There's plenty of money in the bank. And I hate to break it to you folks, but I'm sitting pretty now. I don't have to go to work every day. I work from home. I work on YouTube. And I get paid to do something I love. And honestly, I can't even tell you what a blessing that was that I got out of that place and got my life back in order. I'm not telling you to go quit your job, but the important thing here is that you have to like what you do. When I was in college, one of my physics professors said you should always get a job doing something you love. If not, make sure at least they pay you a good wage. So that was good. He also had another saying. He says, "I don't mind the sight of blood unless it's my own." So that was kind of cute also. He was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. Yeah, I'm educated and all that. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to college. I did it all, you know. Here I am. At 37, I retired, and I just never got around to making this video because I didn't feel the time was right. Your job, the stresses that your 9-to-5 job gives you, it's unreal what it does to you. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. That's why they make vacations. But the problem with the place I was at, I couldn't take a fucking vacation. I'm on vacation every fucking day. If I don't feel like picking up the camera, I'm off. It's that simple. I'm off. It's great. It's absolutely great. This wouldn't have been possible without all of your help. Subscribing, watching, liking all the videos. That keeps me motivated and makes me want to continue. And like I explained, I will be continuing for quite some time to come. This is a nice, cushy fucking job. I'd have to worry still because Susan might change things, as a lot of you know. Some of you who were getting a few bucks here and there, just that money stopped coming in because you either didn't have the subs or the watch hours. So that's pretty much the deal, and that's the story of my life. I cut back on my drinking. I got my finances in order. And I got a great job doing it. I get to sit there and look on the internet for good deals for stuff that we need to buy. You know, you always have needs. You always need to buy things. There's certain things. I just had to buy some oil for the car because I ran out. I had my last quart. I used it, and it's, you know, I needed more because I'm going to need more, and I had to get it. So I said, let me get it now, and that's that. So I did, and I found a better deal on that. I ended up saving 12 bucks. What a great thing. What a great thing. I was prepared to spend 25, but I only spent 13, so I saved $12. And when I was working, the stress of the place and just, oh, what the hell is it going to be like? What's my bench going to look like when I come back? Just all that, just $25, fine. Here, I'm making money every day. I don't give a fuck. Here, $25. Swipe the card, throw the cash on the counter, whatever it is. You just, you don't mind the pennies and that. But if you can manage it properly, you can do it. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job, but if you have a lot of stress that is all job related, it's going to take its toll on you. The place I worked at killed 4 people. 4 people. 1 actually died. The rest were hospitalized. And I'm sure it was all due to the stress of that place. A lot of other people who have been at Jay's Bar have actually worked there as well. Matt used to work there. Everybody has a different story to tell, and nobody will tell their story except for me. But everybody has a different story to tell. Some got fired, some got laid off. Others just fucked up too many times. Some stole things and got arrested, you know. Everybody, and I'm not saying any of this group really, you know, just in general, everybody has a different story to tell. But the stress of the place was so much that it was literally killing me from the inside out. And it was a blessing in disguise that my gallbladder exploded, and that was my ticket out. So here we are. You can look forward to a new video every day. I have no idea what it's going to be. All depends on what's going on. All depends on what's going on. What do I need to fix? What do I want to talk about? What do I want to show you? Could be anything. We just simply don't know. And I hope that suspense is one of the things that keeps you coming back. So I do want to thank you once again for watching, for hitting the like, being a subscriber, and being a loyal follower. That pays me, folks. And that all keeps me motivated. All of those things. So keep up the great work, everybody. There's plenty more to come. And we'll be seeing another video when I hit 10,000 subs to thank you all again. So there it is. Kind of a grim, gruesome story. And very long. If you made it through this, I appreciate that. Thank you all once again for being a subscriber and for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and just today, I made 3 videos, so I'm going to take the next 3 days off. The videos will go up, and that's that. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention about comments. I always had a problem when I would go to somebody's video and they didn't either explain something clearly or they were blatantly wrong about something and just thought they were right, but there's proof available saying, no, it's this way, not that way, like you said. So I would comment and you'd never get a response. How many videos have you watched where you look and read through the comments and that? Well, nobody knows how to read anymore, but you read through the comments and nobody's there to answer. The maker of the video, just, they put the video up, fuck you, I'm getting your money, that's it. Nope, I engage with my audience. You have a question, you have a comment, something like that, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it. It's that simple. I take every comment seriously. Now, one day it's going to spiral out of control, and I know that's why a lot of these, you know, big names and stuff out there stop replying to comments. Some of them only do it for like an hour after they post the video, and then they never touch it again. I'm going to continue doing this as long as it's possible, and for right now it's quite comfortably possible. So like I said, if you're going to comment, you're most likely going to get a response. So I wanted to correct the wrongs that I found, not only throughout my life but also here on YouTube. I didn't feel it's right if somebody had a comment, or rather even a valid question, saying, hey, you weren't clear about that, or you left out the part that's really important where, or whatever the case may be. And the maker of the video is just like, fuck it, they took the money and run. You know? I don't believe in that. If you have something to say, I'm going to have something to say back. It depends on what you say is what's going to depend on what I say, but that's it. So I wanted to correct that because I found that to be another wrong in my life. Thanks again.